The U has upset the Ohio State Buckeyes. My goodness, what a game by the Miami defense and Mark Fletcher on when you gotta have it downs, running through the Buckeye front seven. Ohio State, reeling after this loss, joins the club of teams that are 0-5, coming off of a bye into the college football playoff. Woo! Let's talk about what this means for Miami, what this means for Ohio State. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Should Ohio State have let Miami score? They're at the end, 55 seconds left, and a timeout, down by 3. There's, I think, lots of conversation to have on this. Dusty Dvorak off the rip saying, I think it's the best thing that you could do. Anything could happen is what I think, right? I think that if you let Miami continue to run the football, they're probably going to get into the end zone the way they've been pushing that front seven off the ball for the second half. And also, if you're Ohio State, there's every opportunity that Caleb Downs knocks one loose, and this time Malachi Toney doesn't hold on to the football. Mark Fletcher doesn't hold on to the football. This was a really interesting game from a turnover and a penalty standpoint. We saw one accepted penalty come in the fourth quarter and then another accepted penalty, both of these by Ohio State. Really clean game by both of these programs. But turnovers, Ohio State had 2, Miami had 1. Team that has the fewest turnovers usually wins the game. But Miami upends the title defense of the Ohio State Buckeyes, a team that I had picked to get back to the national championship game from week 1. And up until the Big Ten championship game, looked like the best team in all of college football. And then in the course of less than a month, 3 weeks to be quite frank with you, they went 0-2 after dispatching 7 straight ranked opponents and having reeled off 16 consecutive wins just to get to the number 2 seed in the college football playoff and be the home team in the Cotton Bowl. Carson Beck did not need to play his best football, but did play some of his best football in the course of this game. 1 point, set the Cotton Bowl record for most completions in a row with 13. He finished 19-26 for 138 with 1 TD and no interceptions. Didn't turn the ball over. Mark Fletcher, again, I asked this question right after he ran all over A&M. Can he lead this team past Ohio State? Many Ohio State fans said, hey, not against this defense. That's A&M. This ain't what we do. We don't allow running backs to go eat on us. He had 19 carries for 90 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. On gotta-have-it situations, they went to that man. Miami was 7 of 14 on third down. Like, I realize that a lot of people are going to point to Ryan Day on this one, and probably should, because he said off the rip, we think we got a good first script. We have been doing lots of work to try to make sure that we stay engaged in this game. We work with sports psychologists who tell me how to coach each and every one of these players for the layoff. We knew that it was a big deal. We knew that teams had been 0-4 in this, but, going in the first round, the home teams had all been undefeated, right? Alabama upends that week, the December 19th, first game we got. Come back from 17-0 to beat Oklahoma on the road, 34-24. But as this game got started and it was turning into a rock fight early, Quinn Kesnick actually asked the question that I want to answer the most. Is this a game that Miami can win? Yeah, I expect Cristobal said, this is what we do. We win rock fights. Is that a game that Ohio State can win? Was an more interesting question. It was low scoring. Low scoring seemed to always favor the Buckeyes until they got to top 10 teams, frankly. Like, full stop. Penn State was never going to be a match for them. They didn't get to play Oregon this year. Michigan was a shell of themselves and had been going through it. And then you get to Indiana, who is front to back, side to side, balanced, and can do everything that you want to do. Drags Ohio State into the deep water by simply saying, we're going to allow for Jeremiah Smith to do what Jeremiah Smith does. We're going to make it hard for everybody else to get some work in here. I was amazed that Jeremiah Smith, 7 catches, 157 yards, willed the Buckeyes back into this game because it felt like it was moving away from them as the Buckeyes went down 14-0. But Julian Sand was confused for the second time in as many games. 22 of 35 for 287, but the 2 interceptions, the one at the end that seals the win for Miami, but he was always up against it. You're playing down by double digits, and psychologically, that's just difficult. So when you got a head coach that goes with the analytics, like what Dvorak is saying you should do, as a player, you're going, we're down 10 when we could have even just been down 3, kicker misses field goal, or we get the turnover. The defense has got to feel some kind of way when they get the call to let the running back walk into the end zone. That's demoralizing. That's the last play that unit is going to play from the line of scrimmage this season. They let the enemy walk into their end zone because they thought it was the best move for the team. That is sacrificing your queen in a chess game, because that's what the Buckeye defense is. It's the queen. It is the most powerful piece on the board. And they gave it up for the opportunity to maybe attack with a knight and a bishop, right? And I say a knight and a bishop because those pieces are both worth 3 points. They're not as much as the 9 that you're giving up with the queen, but they're also not like you're out there with 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and 2 knights, because this offense had not been going well. Like it really was having a hard time getting into gear with anything that didn't have anything to do with Jeremiah Smith. I mean, Carnell Cates got all of 3 catches in this game. CJ Donaldson was hit and miss, and frankly, I don't think that the Buckeyes got their money's worth from him. Bo Jackson's doing everything he can, but he was getting popped. Caleb Downs out there trying to make it happen. Arvell Reese is getting wrong-footed. Shannon Dawson did a great job of not just going side to side, but running tunnel screens and making sure that his guys get short, easy, intermediate passes to catch, because that was that from the jump. Hey, we're going to start this out with Fletcher in the middle of their defense, and when they collapse to the middle, we're just going to hit them the same way on the inside. But what was really transcendent about this, and what was a brilliant move on Shannon Dawson's part, is you don't just say we're throwing it to the inside receiver. You say we're going to move the outside receiver inside, or we're going to take the inside receiver and we're going to move him just inside the numbers to make a play. I love that. That is how you attack a defense that is faster than you, that is bigger than you, and plays a lot more base than anybody else does too. Like as soon as Dvorak said they were playing a bare front, I'm like, yeah, they're not going to be in that for too much longer, because you know what they're not able to do in that? Stop the friggin' run. It was clear. You can't go head up over the nose, have your 3 techniques out here, and say this is what we're going to do when you get run on, because all they do is clearing your gaps. I mean, at one point, Carson Beck is running for first downs, man. That's how it felt. This game was not just low scoring, wasn't a lot of offense in it. 291 total yards from Miami to 332 for the Buckeyes. Again, just 138 passing yards and 153 on the ground. You'd say that the Buckeye defense did its job, but again, that's what they do. What I thought was really fantastic about what Mario Cristobal did too was not make the kind of fundamental procedural mistakes that normally doom a Mario Cristobal team. Didn't call timeouts at the wrong time. Didn't need to take timeouts when it mattered most. Kept the chains moving. His players did him a service. On third and got to have it, they went and got it. That's a great way to not have to have your coach on the sideline going, damn, I guess we ought to let them walk into the end zone so we can get the ball back. Get the ball back, try to go get 3, then take the onside kick and maybe get a shot to get 7? Come on, man. Like I get it. I understand why Ryan Day thought that was the move. And on, both of these teams were perfect on 4th down, but you didn't get that many opportunities. And when it was simply clear that Corey Heatherman had the measure of Ryan Day in that offense, I was wondering, what are you going to do? And he did what I thought he was going to do. Hey, forget it. Forget the game plan. Forget what it is we were doing. Just throw it to 4. I realized that we've been trying to throw the ball more often than we should probably be throwing the ball in the first half. And then not only are you taking Ohio State out of what it wants to do, which is run the ball to start, but a team that prided itself all season on playing the least amount of football it could, being efficient with its drives, was all of a sudden having 3 and outs at a time when it is not okay to be having no 3 and outs, guys. Like, I was really fascinated by this, because first time Ohio State had the ball, we're talking about taking, 4 minutes off the clock. Second time they got the ball, we're talking about getting into the second quarter, having to punt the ball. First 3 possessions, fourth 4 possessions, first 5 possessions, no points. Punt, missed field goals. 4 punts and a missed field goal. That's how your half ends. That's how Miami goes out. And then you make some adjustments. You come out and you catch a little bit of fire. But by that time, it's 14-7. I'm thinking, okay, you need to stop on defense. And at a time when Ohio State needed it most, good grief, man, couldn't get a stop. So your queen was being used imprecisely and could not make the measure. Miami, meanwhile, has 6 wins against ranked opponents for only the second time since 1987. And while we've been so yelling and screaming about Notre Dame being left out of the friggin' college football playoff, look at who made the college football playoff semifinals. Notre Dame fans, sit down. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any of this. We would have been here too. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. You know what you'd have done? You know what you've done? You'd have blamed everybody else but yourself. Because that's what you did. You blamed everybody but yourself. You picked your ball up, you went home, you quit on the postseason. And then you tried to blame college football. Then you tried to play the college football playoff. Then you tried to blame the ACC, who partners with you in this scandalous Tinder-led marriage of yours, all right? Like, it's not really real. So I don't want to hear it. Sit down somewhere. You're not playing football. Miami, playing damn good football. Ran through A&M. I realized A&M fans going to pop up, be like, it was closer than this game. Yeah, all right, dog. And then ran through Ohio State. Look, Indiana beat Ohio State. Miami bullied Ohio State. And there is a difference, family. There's a difference. Buckeyes, this is going to be a tough one. This one's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt as much as Alabama coming back to beat Oklahoma. But it's going to hurt. Because, you know, you were 3 wins away. And you didn't have to fight as hard last year, this year, to get that national championship, or so it seemed. So it seemed, right? Last year was a different kind of flavor to it. Everybody had to win a national championship or go home after losing to Michigan. And we're always asking these questions about when is Ryan Day going to do it. Probably going to ask this question again. If you're a Buckeye fan, my heart goes out to you. If you're a Miami fan, get in the comments, dog. Go ham. Come after me. Come after everybody. Shake your little tail feather. You know what I'm saying? Get your Miami Vice on. Pour one out for Liberty City and go, yep, that's how we do around here. Get your Uncle Luke on. Get your chains out. Put turnover chain on. Tell everybody that I don't want to hear about the U is back. The U is now. All of it. Get in here. You deserve it. You won the game. Now, go win the whole damn thing.